Today, we are here with my coworker on. He went from being a manager at a mobile service provider to being a full-time software engineer. So today, we're just going to hear about his story, how he got into computer programming, how he got his first job, what he's doing now, what he wants to do in the future, and just all that kind of good stuff. So let's get started. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yeah. Actually, I was born in South Korea, and I have been working in Japan for about 20 years now. And I think almost 9 years or something, I was working in a mobile company, and I joined uh, this company uh, September 2023, and I really enjoy my job. And yeah, thank you. That's all.
So I think one thing that people will really uh, find interesting is, I guess, getting into the tech industry after the age of 30.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people I talk to, especially like people who are over the age of 30, like we are, and they're thinking about starting to learn how to do programming. It seems kind of scary for them because they're not sure, if they have to spend a few years learning and then they're going to be well into their 30s by the time they actually start job hunting, or maybe even into their late 30s. Maybe some people getting close to 40. They're kind of worried about that. I wasn't worried about that. I was well over 30 years old before I even touched a line of code. So, but what about you? I mean, you don't have to give us your exact age or anything if you're uncomfortable, but what do you have to say about that?
yeah. Actually, I was worried about it too, and I made up my mind to change my career at the end of 30s. So I think you can understand how difficult it is, and it's something like this. So when I was working in an IT company as a manager, I really liked the job because I could experience many advanced products before it is released to the market. So I could learn about many products. One good example is Pepper. That was the first humanoid robot introduced in Japan's market. So
Yeah.
I could touch it before people actually, see and know about it. And one hot keyword, quite uh, broadly known nowadays, is singularity. Do you know the term singularity, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually, I heard it before nobody heard the specific term. So I learned about what is singularity when I was working in the company in a study material, and I was fascinated it. So I strongly believed that AI will change this entire world soon. And because I always experienced many different advanced products, I was deeply interested how all these made of. So I dreamed something like, so my position is very important because I'm trying to promote and spread these new technologies. So without a proper marketing strategies, none of advanced technologies will achieve success, right?
Yeah.
But more than others, I was deeply interested how all these can be made, and I thought it is too late if I dare to try to change my career from the scratch in an engineering part. But when I heard about AI technology, I thought maybe the market is immature now. So if I jump into that topic, maybe it is not too late. So I just made up my mind because at the time I was about 38 or something. So it is something like this is the last train ticket, and if I if I don't take it, then I never do this like that.
Yeah, your last chance to get into the tech industry. Yeah, if anybody's watching this and they're thinking about taking the jump,
Yeah.
just do it.
Actually, many people might feel difficult to answer if I ask them, would you do what you can do well, or would you do what you really want to do, even though you are not sure whether you can do it
Mhm.
better or not, right?
Yeah, because that was one thing that really bothered me is like I felt the same way. Like I wanted to get into tech and be a part of all this innovation and all these things that are happening. But at the same time, I was like, well, there are people who start programming when they're little kids, and they publish their first app to the app store when they're like in high school and they go and get like a PhD in computer science and they're working at Apple or somewhere doing research and inventing things. I was like, I don't think I can ever do that. I mean, maybe I could if I really wanted to. If I wanted to like quit my whole life and go back to school for computer science, I guess I really could if you want to, but you would say it's still worth it to try getting in even if you can't be the best of the best.
No, actually, I just take my first step, but I really don't recommend what I did to everybody. So it is, somebody somebody might try it, but somebody don't. And our life is a series of choices, right? So it is on your choice. So I did it. But if one of my closest friend asked me, should I change my career or not, then actually, you know yourself more than
Yeah,
anybody. So it's your own choice. So the future is not, designed at this time. So it's up to you, right?
definitely.
Mm.
Okay, great.
Mm.
So when you did finally decide to start doing this whole thing, how did you get started, like with your studying?
Actually, I have a friend uh, lives in India. Yeah, and he helped me to find a school to study in India. And at that time, actually, I was not sure uh, from where should I start, should I begin. And there are many good computer schools in Japan too. But anyway, I decided to quit my job, and I just wanted to focus on the study because I really thought this is the last chance. So I thought if I study in India, then I can manage my you know, expenditures for living in India with my savings. So I could easily cover the expenditure. So India was kind of attractive option for me. And one another reason is in India, I can study computer science in English language. Yes, so I could improve my English a lot while I was studying in India. So before I went to India, actually my English wasn't uh, good. Actually, I'm still studying English every day with you. So I don't say my English is good enough. But anyway, one fact is I could improve my English skill during my uh, study in India, and I successfully, completed one computer science course in there, and that is how I began my journey. And I took a short internship course in India in a uh, data academy.
Okay.
Mm.
Wow. So, okay, couple of questions about that, about the course you did. Did you do any like self-study before you joined your course, or did you just like go straight into it knowing nothing?
Maybe about 2 months, I studied C language by myself, and I joined one private institute in India for about 1 month for the preparation. Actually, the course I took was post-graduation diploma computer science.
Okay.
Yes, so I thought if I have a Indian tutor for studying basic programming skill, it can be a good, preparation to join the kind of computer science course.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
yeah, I studied English and I studied basic computer programming by myself and private institute.
Man, that is just such an interesting story. Like you're already in a foreign country and then you go to a different foreign country to study programming and English and like you're just doing all these things in like your second and third language. Man, that's intense. So how long was that,
Uh,
the whole program?
I was living and studying in India for 1 year and 10 months. And my computer course was 1.5 years. And I took another English course. So daytime, I studied in a computer school. And evening time, I studied in a university. So it was another course, postgraduate diploma, communication English, like that. Yeah. So I was really busy. So from the morning till the night, I studied. I was taking two different courses,
Yeah.
diploma courses. Yeah, but yeah, at the time, I was really happy because both of them I really want to study and I really want to be good at in both. Right. So when I was a student in you know, middle school or high school, actually, I just studied because I thought I have to. But in that age, I promoted by myself. So I was interested in those subjects, and I wanted to know it better, and I studied harder.
Wow. Okay. So didn't you say before you were planning to actually work in India? You were gonna try to get a job over there as a developer?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I got a job offer from India. So, as I told you earlier, I took an internship in a data center academy. It was a local AI company in India, Kerala state. And at that time, because I was holding a student visa, I had to temporarily come back to Japan. And I was preparing employee visa, but at the time, uh, COVID, you know, COVID issue surged and all the visa process stopped. So I couldn't go back to India for the job. And
Yeah.
actually, at the time, I really didn't predict that this COVID issue would continue years and years. And I think nobody could predict it. So that big incident changed my entire plan. But anyway, this is, another scenario. But eventually, I settled down a computer. you know,
Okay. All right. So you did the year and a half course in India and you did an internship and then how did you end up getting your first job, which is here at Fundasta, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. As a computer engineer, this is the yeah first job.
So how did you find this job?
Yeah, actually, I applied many companies, and at the time, my friend introduced me Fandasta. And yeah, actually, my friend, he was contacted by the CEO of Honda Star, and somehow my friend thought he came to think that this company is the perfect match to my friends, and yeah, he messaged me that I want to introduce the company to you, like that, and
Yeah.
he gave me the contact number and email address of the CEO of our company. Yeah, and yeah, I mailed him, and now I'm here.
Okay, so you just contacted the company directly?
Yeah, yeah, and I took the interview and I took the test, and just like he did. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
All right. Great, great. What are you doing now? Because I know I've heard you guys talking about kind of you're like taking on a new project or something, but and I know you were doing before you were kind of setting up you were using the AI to like make blog posts or something.
Yeah. At that time, I made a blog writer using ChatGPT API and Google Gemini API. After that, yeah, I was assigned to a different job. Now uh, I'm involved in a car system, you know, test operation. Yeah, so I'm scripting test scenario and conducting test of car system. And just after that, I'm gonna start making uh, chatbot, AI chatbot. Yeah. So actually, I'm interested in how AI technology can change this world, and AI chatbot like ChatGPT. Yeah, so and ChatGPT actually is for anybody. But what I'm interested in, how can we customize those ChatGPT like chatbot for different enterprise like that? So I think soon I'm going to begin the project. Yeah.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Mm.
What is the main programming language or like tech stack that you're using at the job now?
Python mostly. Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
use.
So you do all that work with the AI using Python.
Yeah, at that time I use Python. Yeah.
Okay. Are you doing any front end stuff?
Actually, not yet. Yeah. So except me, all the other coworkers are doing front end job, right? Yeah,
Yeah, most of us are doing
yeah,
the front end stuff right now.
yeah. Now I'm, participating in the testing operations. So yeah, it is a different type of job. Yeah.
Future plans, like do you have some kind of goals or future plans for your career or side projects or just anything?
Yeah, actually, because I joined this company at the age of 40, so I think I don't have a lot of time. I really want to focus on AI technology. Yeah. So not only the language model, in the future, I want to study about some other computer vision project or any other, many different. And so actually, I just want to challenge to many different things in AI category.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, I'm so satisfied with Fondasta because Fondasta is cross-cultural and Fondasta is really open-minded to any part of the technology. So when I joined this company, actually none of us, suggested u- using AI API or making something related to AI technology, but I suggested it to my boss. And
Yeah.
actually, our company is really open-minded and always be ready to challenge to red oceans. So Yeah, actually, I want to develop this kind of technology in this company.
Well, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to ask. I guess the only other thing would be if you have any advice for people who are trying to get into the tech industry.
Actually, when I decided to my career from a sales to the engineering, I was really eager to achieve it. But actually, yeah, I can tell you that this is a uh, this is a happy ending. I'm satisfied now, and I really think it was a correct decision, and I'm happy now. But till I get this job, this position, there were harsh time during the COVID, and things wasn't progressing I expected at all. And even after I studied all the subject in India, it took about 3 years to, you know, for me to get this job, right? So there
Yeah.
was some other, stories. It is quite personal. So, things are not happening as you expect sometimes, right? So when I resigned my company, I prepared my career change for many years. I think maybe 2 or 3 years I spent time for the planning and preparation. So I prepared a lot of saving and I researched many schools and I researched some countries potentially I will go and study in. So I just want to be sure that I can do this. But that kind of, unexpected event like COVID changed every plans. So, it is very difficult that I advise or give some tips for somebody because whatever you think, in many times it doesn't happen like you planned or it doesn't, happen like you expected. But the choice is only one. Will you so just do it or just stay where you are now, right? Yes. So whatever you select, you can be happy, even though you don't change your career. Yeah, you can be happy. It is not that you can't be happy, but yeah, if you really want to do, then why not just try?
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, that's good advice, I think. What else? Something you just said, you checked other countries. So if you wouldn't have gone to India,
Mm.
what was another country you were considering to go to study?
Yeah, actually, personally, I was interested in France, and I had a friend in there, and yeah, France was one option, and another place is America because I was interested in AI. So
Yeah.
America will be a great choice, but it's too expensive. So it is something like when I came to Japan, I studied Japanese, Japanese language too. Okay, and at the time I met many friends from many different countries, and you know I saw many students fail to, learn a good Japanese. And one big reason was many of them spent so much time to work, right? So
Yeah.
make solid, you know, finance base is very important if you want to study abroad. So if you have to work in the country to keep studying a subject in another school, I think it is very difficult to handle. So actually, that was the biggest reason I selected India. And India, I think it was very reasonable for me coming from Japan and very good level of education and affordable, school fee. And I really didn't do any job in India, only, study in a school daytime and, study in the other school in the evening, and I don't do any job, and just managing all the expenditures only with my saving. But actually, I spent less than I, you know, expect. And if I selected another country, yeah, America is very good, I think. But at the time, I thought maybe I will look for a job,
Yeah,
yeah, to handle my expenditure. Then I cannot focus on my study. So that
right.
is why I selected India, and I think it was a correct decision now.
Okay, yeah, and they have a lot of really talented and hardworking engineers over there, so I think you can learn a lot in that environment.
Yeah,
I think that's all the questions I had, eh, unless there's anything else you want to say to the whole world who might watch the video.
I hope you enjoy my interview, and maybe it is not easy to understand what I'm saying. So Jack will write a good subtitle for yours. Please edit this video carefully and add a good subtitle for your audience. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And I'm sure everyone who watches will get some good information.
Mhm.
So thank you. And that's it for today. See you guys later.
Okay.